Close your eyes for a moment. Take a deep breath and let your mind wander. Imagine a kaleidoscope of vibrant colors swirling before you. Picture the air filled with confetti, each piece catching the light and creating a dazzling display. Hear the infectious beat of drums, their rhythm pulsing through the crowd, and the joyous laughter that echoes all around. It's a symphony of sounds that invites you to join in the celebration. Smell the tantalizing aroma of exotic foods wafting through the air. From sweet to savory, the scents are a feast for the senses, drawing you towards the vibrant stalls. This, my friends, is the essence of Carnival, a celebration of life that explodes with sensory overload, drawing you into its intoxicating embrace. It's a time when the ordinary is left behind and the extraordinary takes center stage. Carnivals are more than just events. They are living, breathing spectacles that transform cities into stages for the extraordinary. Streets become rivers of color and sound, and every corner holds a new surprise. They are a time to cast aside inhibitions, don elaborate costumes, and lose yourself in the contagious energy of the crowd. Each costume tells a story, each dance step a celebration of culture and tradition. For a few fleeting days, the ordinary fades away, replaced by a world of music, dance, and unadulterated joy. It's a time when everyone, regardless of background, comes together to celebrate the beauty of life. But have you ever stopped to wonder where this tradition of revelry originated? How did these vibrant celebrations come to be? How did we come to celebrate with such wild abandon? The history of Carnival is as rich and varied as the celebrations themselves. Let's take a journey back in time to uncover the fascinating history of carnivals, from their ancient roots to the modern day extravaganzas we know and love. The origins of Carnival can be traced back to ancient Roman festivals such as Saturnalia, where people would celebrate the end of the planting season with feasts, music, and dancing. These early celebrations were marked by a temporary suspension of social norms, allowing people to let loose and enjoy themselves. As time went on, these traditions evolved and spread throughout Europe. During the medieval period, carnivals became a way for people to enjoy a brief period of freedom before the somber season of Lent. Masks and costumes allowed revelers to hide their identities and indulge in behaviors that were normally frowned upon. The Renaissance brought even more elaborate celebrations with grand parades, theatrical performances, and intricate costumes. These events were not just about fun and games, they were also a way for communities to come together and express their shared identity and values. Today, carnivals have become global phenomena, celebrated in countless countries around the world. Each culture has added its own unique twist, resulting in a dazzling array of traditions and customs. From the samba schools of Rio de Janeiro to the masquerade balls of Venice, each carnival is a reflection of the community that celebrates it. In Brazil, the Rio Carnival is famous for its samba parades, where dancers in vibrant costumes perform intricate routines to the beat of lively music. In Venice, the carnival is known for its elegant masks and elaborate balls, where participants don historical costumes and dance the night away. In the Caribbean, carnivals are a riot of color and sound, with calypso and soca music providing the soundtrack to days of non-stop dancing and celebration. Each island has its own unique traditions, but the spirit of joy and community is universal. In the United States, Mardi Gras in New Orleans is a celebration like no other. With its roots in French Catholic traditions, Mardi Gras has evolved into a vibrant festival featuring parades, music, and the famous throwing of beads. It's a time when the city comes alive with energy and excitement. No matter where you are in the world, the essence of Carnival remains the same, a celebration of life, community, and the joy of being alive. It's a time to come together, to dance, to laugh, and to create memories that will last a lifetime. So the next time you find yourself at a carnival, take a moment to appreciate the rich history and vibrant traditions that have come together to create this magical experience. Let yourself be swept away by the music, the colors, and the joy that fills the air. After all, Carnival is more than just a party, it's a celebration of the human spirit. Our carnival adventure begins in ancient Rome, where a festival known as Saturnalia sowed the seeds for centuries of revelry. This grand celebration, held in honor of Saturn, the god of agriculture, was a time when the usual order of life was turned on its head. The streets of Rome would come alive with laughter, music, and the clinking of glasses as people from all walks of life came together to celebrate. Dedicated to Saturn, the god of agriculture, this mid-December celebration was a time for feasting, gift giving, and most importantly, turning the social order upside down. The festival began on December 17th and lasted for several days, during which the rigid structures of Roman society were relaxed. People exchanged gifts, often small tokens or candles, symbolizing the light returning after the winter solstice. The air was filled with the aroma of sumptuous feasts, and the sound of joyous laughter echoed through the streets. During Saturnalia, slaves were briefly freed from their duties and allowed to participate in the merriment. This temporary liberation was a significant aspect of the festival, as it allowed everyone, regardless of their social status, to experience a sense of equality and freedom. Slaves could wear the pileus, a felt cap that symbolized their temporary freedom, and they were treated as equals by their masters. This role reversal was a powerful reminder of the transient nature of social hierarchies. Gambling was permitted, and masters even served their slaves at the table. This inversion of roles was not just a symbolic gesture, but a genuine attempt to break down the barriers that separated different classes of society. The tables were laden with food and drink, and the atmosphere was one of unrestrained joy and camaraderie. People played games of chance, placing bets and cheering each other on, as the usual rules and restrictions were temporarily lifted. It was a time for letting loose and indulging in excess, a precursor to the carnival spirit we know today. The revelry was marked by a sense of abandon, as people indulged in food, drink, and merriment without restraint. The streets were filled with processions, music, and dancing, creating a vibrant tapestry of celebration that brought the entire community together. This spirit of excess and indulgence would later become a defining characteristic of carnival celebrations around the world. As Christianity spread throughout the Roman Empire, Saturnalia gradually transformed. The early Christian church recognized the popularity of the festival and sought to incorporate its elements into the new religious framework. This blending of traditions allowed the church to ease the transition from paganism to Christianity, making the new faith more accessible to the masses. Over time, many of the customs and practices of Saturnalia were absorbed into Christian celebrations, creating a rich tapestry of cultural and religious influences. The festival's timing, just before the Lenten season, made it a natural fit for a final burst of indulgence before the solemnity of fasting and reflection. Lent, a period of 40 days leading up to Easter, was a time of penance and self-denial, and the exuberant celebrations of Saturnalia provided a stark contrast to this period of austerity. This juxtaposition of indulgence and restraint became a central theme in the development of carnival traditions, as people sought to enjoy one last celebration before the onset of Lent. Thus, the carnival as we know it began to take shape, a fusion of pagan revelry and Christian tradition. The early carnival celebrations were a vibrant mix of ancient Roman customs and emerging Christian practices, creating a unique cultural phenomenon that has endured through the centuries. These early carnivals were characterized by their exuberance, creativity, and a sense of communal joy that transcended social and religious boundaries. As the tradition spread across Europe and beyond, it evolved and adapted to the local cultures and customs, giving rise to the diverse and colorful carnival celebrations we see today. From the masked balls of Venice to the street parades of Rio de Janeiro, the spirit of Saturnalia lives on, a testament to the enduring power of celebration and the human desire for joy and connection.